We walk by this stunning vehicle behind us. So tell us what we have behind here.
Well, what we have here is a 1930 Rolls Royce Phantom II. It's a Brewster-bodied, English-built chassis. As we've talked, it's Rolls-Royce was building cars in the United States, of course, by this time.
Yep.
But the owner wanted a Phantom II, and you could not get a Phantom II in the United States at that point in time. So he ordered this car and then had it shipped over here and bodied here in the United States. And believe it or not, this car is green.
Which is, you can see a bit when it gets in the sunlight, but it looks black from here.
The fenders are black. This body line on the car is black, but it is what's known as Morgan coaching green.
So, that being said, there's so much more to this car than just being a Rolls. Who was the owner?
This car belonged to J.P. Morgan. It was his summer car that he used at his Long Island estate. He had a matching, and I'll explain matching in a second. He had a matching winter car that he used in downtown New York City. And that was a Phantom I Brewster-bodied car. You can see that car in the Ford collection today. This car was also given when Mr. Morgan was done with this car. He gave this also to the Ford Museum, who in turn deaccessioned it and gave it to the Crawford Museum in Cleveland. We believe this car has 18,000 original miles, give or take.
Okay.
So it wasn't ever used.
Low mileage car. Now, that piques my curiosity because you don't normally see a car come out of a museum, especially after being there for so many years, back on the street. So tell us the story of how this came to be in your possession.
Okay. Well, it's a long, kind of alluded story, but as we talked, it went from the Ford Museum, went from museum to museum. It went from the Ford Museum to the Crawford Museum. And then I don't remember exactly what year it was right off the top of my head, but then they decided to refine their collection, and I believe they used the cars significant to northern Ohio.
Okay.
And this car not being either owned there or manufactured there, because there were so many car manufacturers in the area, this kind of fell onto their list of cars that they wanted to deaccession, which never made sense. And my father happened to be on the board at the time, and he loved the car, but he was very opposed to museums getting rid of any of their collections. So he, when it came time to vote, he voted against it, lost, and promptly resigned from the board, and then submitted a bid, and